America and its fabled dream of prosperity and independence have been drawing the tired, huddled masses for centuries. And at the end of the 19th century, Italian immigrants began coming in droves to cash in on the promises America was supposed to offer. However, in those early decades, most new residents of the United States found those promises a bit more empty than they hoped. For many Italian families, becoming more American and less foreign was a goal and even a necessity to assimilate and be accepted. Because of this, the newer generations began to lose some of their cultural identity. Americans viewed these new neighbors as dirty, lesser, strange, so Italians adapted. Today we call America a melting pot of cultures, but are we really? Do people coming from Italy now in our supposedly progressive culture retain who they are? Or are they still forced to compromise for the sake of acceptance? Adjusting to a new atmosphere and all that comes with it can be jolting, even scarring, from the small nuances of daily life to the big social issues.
This is gonna sound very silly to you, but this has been the biggest struggle, the cause of the highest number of arguments with any partner I had, with any friend I had, the highest cause of tension for me was the fact that when I was growing up in Italy, the country would stop, would freeze at noon, and would reopen at 3 p.m. because that was the lunch break. And everything shuts down. Pick up your car, you go home, you have lunch. When I went to Buffalo, this just didn't work. Because things didn't stop. And so I would have this class that was between 11 and 2. And that just threw me off. Like, wow, when am I gonna eat lunch? Or with a famous boyfriend that then didn't work out. I swear, one of the big reasons I think were the many arguments connected to what he called my food issue. Well, and lunch is not gonna be in a car. It's not gonna be a Manhattan and bagel while you drive. No, it's gonna look like a table, a plate, a fork and a knife, and a glass.
Italian culture is closely tied to Catholicism and is an important part of daily life. In a time of extreme change and confusion, it would seem natural to cling to one's faith for comfort. Unfortunately, the culture shock for Italians coming to America is only furthered when they encounter the drastic differences between the religion they practice in Italy and the one they find upon arriving in the States. Does this further alienate them from American culture, or does it become an opportunity for change?
So when I moved to Buffalo, I moved to a very different kind of interpretation of Catholicism. They did not speak to me, I couldn't connect with. And I remember starting to go to different churches there, and instead I found this very harsh, very austere, very conservative interpretation of Catholicism that was really far from what I had grown up with. And in fact, a couple times we did go to some services here and she felt they were cultish and she really didn't like any of it.
They are forced to turn inward to find out what parts of themselves to keep and which to discard. It is almost impossible not to be influenced by these new surroundings, to adjust one's way of thinking, of believing, of living. It is an inevitable compromise between one culture and another. Whether this is a positive compromise or something almost tragic has yet to be decided.
Well, the thing is that who I am now is a hybrid. And this is really becoming clearer and clearer to me as time goes by. But I had a beautiful conversation just a couple of days ago when I laughed with a dear friend of mine. And she was telling me, that there's a part of me that envies you because it's 7 hours from now you'll be flying over New York City. And he said, I don't know if I'll ever get to see New York City. He said, but there's a part of me that fears for you because if you were not to land, there will be nobody there to pick you up or to miss the fact you got there. And I thought there was something very deep about what she said that I think captured it all. I've done it 40 years in the end. It was worth the intellectual high that I got out of it. There's a price to it. There's a price to it. And it's high.